Democrats. It's a great honor to be asked at this time to present to you good folks a very great American and the greatest of all Democrats, the Honorable Harry S. Truman.
And these distinguished governors from Oklahoma, Michigan, and Missouri, our governor, Nebraska, the former governor of the great state of New York. As the chairman said, he still ought to be the governor of that great state. I want to call your attention now. And in fact, I want this meeting to distinctly understand that this Republican administration has been a won't-do administration with a Congress that should be called a will-do Congress. The present Congress had a will-do administration, that is, an executive who knew what to do and how to do it, would have made the greatest record in the history of the Congress of the United States. And I'm talking advisedly because I know what they've done, I know what they're trying to do, and I know what they're going to get done. One of the things they're going to get done is to put a Democrat in the White House. Now, the administrative end of this government of ours has been against a foreign policy of any sort, against a housing policy for the ordinary people, and against nearly everything else that's been for the welfare of the citizens. Have you heard what these gentlemen have all had to say? And every single one of them has made a wonderful contribution this evening. And I wish I could live up to what the policy they've set out here for your entertainment and your information. The administration has arranged things so that while the promises made in Minnesota, and I hope the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota is still here, in 1952, if you remember, they started in on the farmers. And they said they'd have 90% parity in the marketplace. Now, what the hell that meant, I don't know, and I don't think anybody else does. The present administration has a parity of 65% in the marketplace and everywhere else. Mr. Benson is a great farm administrator. In fact, he's been a genius in running the family farm out of business. But the farmers voted for it. And I don't feel a bit sorry for them. They brought it on themselves. And they weren't satisfied with that. They had an opportunity to throw them out in 1956, and what did they do? They voted for them again. If they don't look out, somebody's going to fool them into doing that same thing over again. Now, they voted for what they've been getting. And if that's exactly what they want, I tell you they deserve it. The financial policy of the present administration is to make it exceedingly difficult for the little man to get the wherewith to transact business, to save his little business. The administration has followed a policy of increasing interest rates, not to help the people, but to help the money lenders. And they had the nerve, one of the biggest bankers in New York, to say that they were not raising interest rates because they wanted to make more money. They were raising interest rates to protect themselves from the other fellows that were raising them. Now, what are you going to do with an outfit like that? On the present setup, there's a total of about $800 billion borrowed all along the line by all the people in this nation, besides the national debt of the United States. The administration has allowed the people who lend the money to assess the people who have no other recourse about $16 billion. If you want to strike off $2 billion of that, you've still got $14 billion, and what's it for? What did it do for anybody? Did it build any houses? Did it get the farmers out of debt? Did it help our foreign policy? It did not. It was just another assessment from which the government got nothing. The result of that is to increase the income of those people who are in a position to lend money. And most of the time, they got away with a 26% tax while the rest of us pay through the nose. And I know something about it because I used to sit there and watch them try to do it. I want to tell you that in the last 3 years of my administration, the New York Federal Reserve Bank and these bankers that have set this interest rate, nobody else set it in New York, tried their level best to get John Snyder and myself to do just exactly what Humphrey and this Texas, well, I guess I call him a shivercrat. That's what he is. He's made the rest of you shiver. He's made the rest of you shiver. The administration has padded the boards and bureaus set up for the protection of the people in such a way that the legislation which was passed to work in the public interest and to protect the people has been made to work for the special interest classes. I'll name some of them. The Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commodity Credit Corporation, the Federal Housing Administration, the National Labor Relations Board are the ones referred to, and it's particularly true of the Rural Electrification Organization. Now, the administration tried to turn over the Rural Electrical Organization to the private utilities, which is true right here in this neighborhood. I know what I'm talking about, and it can't be disputed. And if they get funny, I'll name names and produce the facts that'll show you the figures on what they're trying to do to the ordinary fella. That's the most terrible thing, and I get so stirred up about it, I want to bust them, and I think we will before we get through. They've tried to make people who depend upon cheap electricity